So you can introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Akubezo Kocha. I'm a 20-year-old student in Reading University and I'm from Rivers State, Nigeria.
Okay, so tell me what you think Africa would be like in the next 5 to 6 years.
The next 5 to 6 years, I'm not sure there'll be that much of a drastic change because I feel like the people who are in power now will still be in power in the next 5 to 6 years. I think that it will take quite a while for our generation and probably the generation before me, us youths, to actually enter and take control of Nigeria and Africa in general.
Okay, and what prompted you to study law?
And my dad's actually a lawyer, so with the way that our African culture is, you tend to do what your dad does or what your mom does or what your mom or your dad think you should do. So my dad's a lawyer, which is the main reason why I studied law, but then I was never inclined towards the sciences anyway, so that was why I just decided to go for it.
And you also do makeup as well?
Yeah, I'm really into makeup. Makeup is like my creative outlet and that's something I enjoy doing, but then well, recently I was going to say, but then you can't really make a lot of money from it. But then now there are so many people, like with the way that we're changing, there's so many people who are makeup artists as their careers back home, but that was never really allowed before. But because those ahead of me are already opening the channels, they're the ones taking the risks to try out things like makeup and music and acting as their careers, and it's seeming to work out, and our own parents are becoming more accepting of it. Us too as youths are saying like it's not that bad, you can chase something creative as your career rather than just sticking to the formal subjects that you learn in school. I think that Africa is going to really shock the world because a lot is really happening now back home with in the fashion and music and performing and creative industry, like people are actually chasing their dreams and sending messages through those routes, and there's going to be a lot of equality, just the recognition of the basic human rights, the fundamental human rights. That's currently what I'm even studying now in my law course. I think we've been influenced by what we've taken in from life over here or just general knowledge from reading and all of that, and we're going to take that back home and then start something new back home.
Exactly.
I feel like the future for Africa is definitely very bright. People are thinking of ideas, people are thinking outside the box much more than they were before. I don't think the Western culture has really grasped that this is going on in Africa right now. So I think what's going to happen in the future is that it's actually going to be revealed. Like they're going to realize, like, see, we've caught up. Like we're not just so close-minded as we were before. Like we are into other things too. We're not just doctors or lawyers or engineers. Like we're dancers and singers and makeup artists and stylists, and we're content creators too. So in 2012, I casually started a YouTube channel where I was sharing makeup videos and transformation tutorials. At the time, I was in the UK studying for my law degree, and it didn't take long for my family to find out that I was a makeup artist on the side, basically. So they quickly called me and insisted that I take down my videos. And I'm a family girl, so of course I obliged. By 2017, I was done with everything that I was meant to do. I had obtained my LLB, my LLM in human rights law, and I was called to the Nigerian bar. So it was at that point I started dreaming about what I really wanted to do, and the thought to get back on YouTube came back into my mind. But instead of my focus being on makeup, my focus was on transformation. I had studied human rights law and I had realized that enlightenment is a big part of advocating for human rights. You can't enforce your rights if you don't even know that you have those rights. So my original plan was to use my channel to advocate, enlighten, and empower. But as the good Lord said, you must first remove the log in your own eye before you can see clearly to take out the speck in your neighbor's eye. I had been struggling with substance abuse since 2013. But I was a high-functioning addict. Nobody knew that I was addicted to weed, and I was getting by. I feel like I could have just continued doing my thing and living that life if grace didn't intervene, because in August 2021 I had a very serious accident which
I shouldn't have survived, basically. Like, I knew it was only because of God that I survived, and that was the wake-up call I needed. At that point, I decided that, you know what, God has saved me for a purpose, and I'm going to spend the rest of my days committed to fulfilling that purpose and to serving Him. My first step was to sober up, and exactly 1 year ago today, I opened up to you guys about my addiction, and I shared that I would be taking a year off so that I could clean up my act. And I'm grateful to say that 1 year later, I am still sober, and the purpose is clearer than ever. So I think I should reintroduce myself at this point. Hi family. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Akubeze, and I am a content creator based in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm going to be sharing conversations, vlogs, tours, and tutorials, all in the hopes that by sharing my journey, I encourage you to progress on yours. There's a lot to come. I'm challenging myself to post a new video every single day for a year because I took 1 year off. So 1 year I'm gonna be online. I know I have been so inconsistent, but a big part of it was, my struggles with my sobriety and my emotions and that whole ripple effect. So yeah, we thank God for progress, and we keep pressing on for more progress. Hopefully you're going to be along for the ride, and hopefully you enjoy my content. So please, I'm open to your suggestions. Let me know anything you want to see, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.